How do you plead?
Madam, a god doesn't plead.
Hello and welcome back to Director's Choice, the show where we explore the psychology of your favorite movie characters. Today, we're taking a deep dive into the complex and fascinating character of Loki, one of the most beloved and enigmatic figures in the Marvel Cinematic Universe. From his origins as a frost giant, to his adoption by Odin and his tumultuous relationships with his adoptive family and fellow heroes, Loki's psychology is shaped by a variety of factors that make him a compelling and multi-dimensional character. In this video, we'll be exploring these factors and discussing how they contribute to Loki's motivations, behavior, and overall character. We'll be looking at his struggles with identity and attachment, his complex morality, and his tendency towards narcissism and impulsivity. We'll also be examining the role that trauma and betrayal play in his psychology, and discussing how his relationships with other characters, particularly his brother Thor, shape his behavior and motivations. So sit back, relax, and join us as we explore the complex and fascinating psychology of Loki. Nature versus nurture. Loki's identity as both a frost giant and an Asgardian shapes his psychology in complex ways. He is torn between his biological roots as a frost giant, which are often portrayed as being cruel and ruthless, and his adoptive family and culture as an Asgardian, which prioritize honor and heroism. This conflict between nature and nurture is a key aspect of Loki's character. This conflict is explored in the first Thor movie, where Loki discovers his true origins as a frost giant and feels betrayed by Odin for hiding this from him. This knowledge shakes Loki's sense of identity and causes him to question where he truly belongs. His subsequent actions, including his attempt to conquer Asgard, can be seen as a result of this identity crisis. Loki's adoption by Odin is a significant event in his life and has lasting psychological effects. While he is grateful to Odin for raising him, he also feels a sense of displacement and alienation from his adoptive family and culture. This can manifest in his behavior as a desire for control and manipulation as he attempts to maintain a sense of power and agency in his relationships. This sense of alienation is evident in the first Thor movie, where Loki is seen to be resentful of Thor's privileged position as Odin's favored son. He feels that he is constantly overlooked and undervalued by his adoptive family, which fuels his desire for control and manipulation. This is also evident in the scene where Loki confronts Odin about his true origins and expresses his feelings of betrayal and confusion. Loki's relationship with his adoptive brother, Thor, is characterized by conflict and competition. Loki feels overshadowed by Thor and struggles to find his own place in the world. This can manifest in his behavior as a desire for revenge or a need to prove himself. This sibling rivalry is explored throughout the Thor movies, with Loki often attempting to one-up Thor and prove that he is just as worthy of Odin's love and respect. In the first Thor movie, he orchestrates Thor's banishment to Earth in an attempt to secure his own position as heir to the throne. In the Avengers, he tries to destroy Earth and prove his superiority over Thor and the other Avengers. Loki has experienced significant betrayal in his life, including Odin's decision to keep his frost giant heritage a secret from him and Frigga's death at the hands of the Dark Elves. These experiences have left him with a deep sense of mistrust and a desire for revenge. Loki's experiences of betrayal are explored throughout the Thor movies, with Odin's decision to keep his frost giant heritage a secret from him being a key event in his life. This knowledge shakes his sense of identity and causes him to question where he truly belongs. Similarly, Frigga's death at the hands of the Dark Elves and Thor. The Dark World is a traumatic event for Loki, as he had a close relationship with her and felt that she was one of the few people who truly understood him. This event fuels his desire for revenge and sets the stage for his subsequent actions in Thor, Ragnarok, and Avengers: Infinity War. Loki has experienced significant trauma throughout his life, including loss, abandonment, and violence. This trauma has likely contributed to his psychological issues and may explain his intense emotional reactions and erratic behavior at times. Loki is highly self-centered and tends to see himself as superior to others. He craves attention and admiration and can become enraged when he feels that he is not getting the recognition he deserves. This narcissism is evident throughout the Thor movies, with Loki often seeking attention and admiration from his adoptive family and others. He becomes enraged when he feels that he is not getting the recognition he deserves, as seen in the scene in Thor Ragnarok where he confronts Thor about their childhood and accuses him of stealing his birthright. This desire for attention and admiration is also evident in his interactions with the other Avengers, where he constantly seeks to prove his superiority and assert his dominance. Loki's relationship with his adoptive family, the Asgardians, is fraught with conflict and ambiguity. As a result, he struggles with issues of trust, abandonment, and betrayal. This can manifest in his behavior as a desire for control and manipulation as he attempts to maintain a sense of power and agency in his relationships. This issue of attachment is explored throughout the Thor movies, with Loki struggling to find a sense of belonging and acceptance within his adoptive family. His feelings of abandonment and betrayal are evident in his actions, including his attempt to conquer Asgard in Thor and his partnership with Thanos in the Avengers. He seeks to maintain a sense of control and power in his relationships in order to protect himself from further pain and rejection. Loki is prone to making impulsive decisions that have serious consequences. He is often motivated by a desire to prove himself, or to gain power or revenge, and this can lead him to act rashly without considering the long-term consequences of his actions. This impulsivity is evident throughout the Thor movies, with Loki often making impulsive decisions that have serious consequences. Loki's identity is complex and constantly in flux. He struggles with feelings of inadequacy and insecurity, as well as a sense of displacement and alienation. This can manifest in his behavior as a tendency to shape-shift or adopt different personas in order to fit in or gain an advantage. This issue of identity is explored throughout the Thor movies, with Loki constantly struggling to find a sense of self and belonging. Loki's moral compass is not easily defined. He is capable of both heroic and villainous acts, and often operates in a moral gray area. This can make it difficult to predict his actions or determine his true intentions. This complex morality is evident throughout the Thor movies, with Loki often acting in morally ambiguous ways. While he is often portrayed as a villain, he is also capable of heroic acts. This moral ambiguity makes him a compelling and unpredictable character, and adds to the complexity of his psychology. In conclusion, Loki is a fascinating and complex character from a psychological standpoint, and his struggles with identity, attachment, and morality make him a compelling and dynamic figure in the Marvel Cinematic Universe. His struggles with identity and morality, as well as his complex relationships with his family and fellow characters, make him a fascinating case study in the psychology of fictional characters. Thank you for joining us for this exploration of Loki's psychology. If you enjoyed this video, please like, comment, and subscribe to our channel for more in-depth analyses of your favorite movie characters.